Poland, why are you a triangle? Wait a second, Germany is also a triangle? Bulgaria is a triangle? Romania is a triangle? The whole world is a triangle? Yes, today we have turned the whole entire world, and every country as well, into a triangle. Because who doesn't love solving the Pythagorean theorem while they play HOI4? And who are we gonna play as in this triangle world, you may ask? Well, it's gonna be a small little tiny country called Japan, baby, with Mr. Hirohito. We're gonna go with historical focuses on, and we shall begin. And here we are as Japan. To the right of us we have Brazil for some reason, and to the left we have the Philippines. Above us is our two puppets, Menguko and Manchukuo, and the rest of the Chinese countries. Then to the very left of the map is gonna be America and the small South American countries too. As you can see, all the tiny countries are lined up next to each other, beautiful. In the middle of the map we have the Allies, India, the UK, France, and Australia and New Zealand at the very top. And to the right of the map we have the European countries, the Soviet Union, Germany, and this beautiful, beautiful Italian, Mussolini, baby, who is currently fighting in Ethiopia like usual. Our plan as Japan is going to be to deal with China as soon as possible and then try to find a way all the way to America. And to do all of that, we are going to have to go down the historical path. Purge the Kodoha faction, baby, let's go. Thankfully, our capital is at a very defensive position, it's at the very edge of the triangle. With this zoom-in level, you can actually take a closer look at how the provinces look. And also the states, actually. This is South Korea and this is North Korea. What do you mean that's not how they look like? And you know what? I feel like even in this world, they would find a way to divide themselves. Although that would also mean they would divide all of Japan too. As always, let's see how our beautiful, beautiful Italian is doing. He is losing a few provinces right here, but he should be able to get them back. There you go, he got one back. And he even did his first encirclement. Good job, Mussolini, very good start. The big issue he's going to have to face in this war is that Addis Ababa is all the way to the end of the triangle. He's doing surprisingly well, actually. He's really close to the Ethiopian capital. The Spanish Civil War has begun, and it's looking, well, it's looking quite triangular, you could say. There's also a small triangular hole here. I'm not really sure what this is. And Ethiopia has capitulated. It looks like a triangular world is not gonna stop our beautiful man Mussolini. The Spanish Civil War seems to be stabilizing. Republican Spain controls the north, while nationalist Spain controls the south. Their capitals are really, really close to each other though. The anarchists have now risen up, but not in Barcelona. No, they have risen up in this place right here, which is not really that good of a position, so I don't think they're gonna last long. Currently Spain has also risen up, and they're in an even worse position than the anarchists. This is such a great representation of Spain, completely chaotic. It's 1937, so we should be going to war with China soon enough. Our main attack division is gonna be the tank right here. And you know what? It might be 2 years early, but we have a 75% bonus, so we can research the 1940 medium tank. Meanwhile, in the Spanish Civil War, the impossible is happening, and Republican Spain seems to be winning. Will they be able to keep the advantage? I'm not certain, let's just wait and see. Is this going to be one of the rare games where Republican Spain wins on historical? Maybe, maybe. The Chinese United Front has formed, and it's looking a bit scary, slightly scary. Especially with this huge border we have with them right here with Manchukuo. But you know what? We're not gonna call Manchukuo in the war, so it's all good. So China is pretty much wasting all their troops here defending the border. I just received an event that I haven't really seen before. The only thing it seems to give us is another event and a damage to infrastructure. And Republican Spain has in fact won the Civil War by 1938. If that doesn't tell you something is very, 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 very wrong with this world, then I don't know what will. So the other event just appeared, and it looks like we can declare war on China through the event, which I'm pretty sure means we're not gonna have the huge debuffs from Marco Polo. This seems a bit overpowered, but you know what? We are going to get the war goal. Let's go, baby. Mobilize the troops. Our front is pretty much prepared. The only issue is that we have a lot of mountains on the border. But anyway, Mr. Chiang Kai-shek, declare war, baby. Let's go. And we are going to call in Prince Dem from Menguko. Call to arms. And finally, we are going to begin the attack on the triangles. Setting the front line also looks, well, it looks peculiar. You can see the triangles being filled up. So there's one tiny issue with all of this. It looks like the front lines completely break with the triangles. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Or here. We have achieved our first small little encirclement here. Beautiful. And once again, the front line is completely spazzing out. I genuinely don't know what's going on here. It's going up, then it's going down, then it's going back up. And surprisingly enough, Siam has rejected to join our faction. Hirohito is going to remember this Mr. Praya Pahon. How did did you even get all of these medals, by the way? I'm pretty sure Siam was not in a war at this time. Germany, in the meantime, has unscloosed Austria right here, which is made up of really tiny triangles. And they also got Sudetenland, which is not really in the historical place, but I'm pretty sure this map is not historical in the first place. We've gotten quite a few more encirclements here, so China should be done very quickly. Yeah, something is really wrong with the front lines. I don't think HOI4 can handle triangular provinces. And you know what? That's why this is incredible. So I can either set one front line here, another one here, which is literally just this one tile, another one here, another one tile here, another one in this small little angle, and one more on this other angle. Incredible. Menguko actually capitulated, but we should be fine since China seems to be falling extremely quickly. Czechoslovakia has been fully annexed, and I really want to pull off a piece here and watch the entire pyramid crumble. Sadly, you cannot do that in HOI4 yet. Poland has refused the ultimatum, so World War II has now begun. Germany has to deal with a huge France here, but they should be able to hold on. As for pushing into France, I'm not really sure if they're gonna manage. They could technically go through Luxembourg here, which is literally just one triangle. At least it has another single triangle friend, Turkey. Poland is actually holding on a lot more than I thought it would, and Germany is even pushing slightly into France, although Paris is still really far away. Poland has actually managed to take all of Czechoslovakia. Is this really going to help them? I don't think so, but still, good job, Poland. We have now split China into two pieces, and once we take these few cities here, that should be it. Nanjing has fallen, and China is 84% towards capitulation, just Changde and these few cities here, and we should be okay. And China has capitulated. We are, of course, going to take everything because, well, the borders are going to be insane. And the borders are, in fact, quite insane. We also have two Japans. Our next priority is going to be attacking the allies, since Germany seems to be struggling quite a lot with France. So UK, right-click and justify war goal. We have a big border here with the British Raj, which we are going to have to defend. Thankfully, the front line works fine with this one, probably because it's straight. We also have to worry about this small little border with Canada, but this should not be an issue. And most importantly, in order to push to the UK, we have to go through Ireland. We could technically go through this one little province here, but I doubt the AI is going to let us. The USSR has gotten Eastern Poland, and all I can say is that it could be worse. Denmark is also being invaded, they are going to surrender immediately, yeah, there you go. And we are ready to declare war on the UK, so Mr. Chamberlain, declare war. Immediately after the declaration, we're gonna justify on Ireland. Yes, Ireland, you're finally relevant in HOI4. The justification is ready, so Mr. Imon de Valera, declare war. Is it just me or does his name not sound Irish? Ireland has capitulated and we can now start pushing into the UK, which interestingly enough seems to start off with Egypt. London and all the other English areas are pretty much in the middle. Beautiful little encirclement here, and if you notice, we are now bordering France, which means we could be cheeky and go all the way to Paris and hopefully capitulate them. We have broken through the French defenses and now let's go to Paris, baby. Paris has been taken with pretty much no resistance, just a few more cities and they should capitulate. And France has capitulated, sadly almost entirely to the Germans for some reason. Just the UK left and the allies are done. And we are going to keep pushing through the UK all the way to London, baby, let's go. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be, probably because the UK AI is trying to handle both of these fronts. Although the AI does have the advantage of not having to deal with these horrible front lines. And London has been taken. Having to micromanage taking the UK while only having 11 tanks is probably the worst thing I've done in HOI4. Why am I not setting any infantry? Because if I try to set a front line here, I can set 10,000 different front lines. And the UK has capitulated. Thankfully, we have 47% of the war score, so we should be able to take quite a bit. And the peace deal is done. Are the borders looking disgusting? A little bit. Could it have been a lot worse? Yes. So we basically took the entire western part of the world so we could border America, and also took as much as we could from England and France. Next up on our agenda, the United States. We only have to worry about two small borders with them, one in the north where Australia used to be, and one in the south where Canada used to be. We're going to send the majority of our troops in the south, and just a small amount of units to defend the north. My biggest worry is Brazil, but I'm pretty sure they don't join until at least 1942. The Peruvian Ecuadorian war has begun, and with borders like this, you know what, it's understandable. Everybody's in position, so America, declare war. Judging by their manpower, they're not really prepared for this. And they are in fact not prepared for this, we're just completely pushing them everywhere. Little encirclement here, very beautiful. So I seem to have completely forgotten about the Philippines. We are going to have to deal with this ASAP. We are steadily climbing up the American triangle, the American pyramid you could even say. And I'm wondering, what if I try to reach the top before they capitulate? So let's select this small tank division right here and send it all the way to the top, baby, which also happens to be Ohio. And we have in fact been encircled on our journey to the top. But fret not, we shall save our unit. How? By sending more tanks, baby. We got extremely close, but not close enough. Goodbye, tank. Goodbye. And we have now reached Washington. And you know what? We may have lost a tank, but we have not lost our will. The top of the pyramid has been conquered. Ohio is now ours. The Philippines has capitulated, so this area is now clear. And I'm not sure how it happened, I'm not sure when it happened, but Brazil is now at war with us. And they are in the Confederation of Middle Eastern Nations, excuse me, led by Yemen? What? Where even is Yemen? Up here. Historical, by the way. The USA is 95% towards capitulation, so if we manage to go all the way to New Orleans, they should capitulate. And it looks like we will. The USA has capitulated, beautiful. And now to deal with Yemen, which is looking quite long. Brazil, by the way, has pretty much no troops, but because of the front lines messing up, they have taken Tokyo. We've taken Tokyo back and Brazil is about to capitulate. Brazil has capitulated, so now just Yemen. Our troops are finally arriving, they literally have to cross through half the world to get there. And Yemen has capitulated. So Brazil, gimme, and Yemen, gimme. Okay, staring at this for so long is starting to feel really weird now, and we still have to get Germany and the Soviet Union. Ay. The German-Soviet war just began, and I genuinely don't know who's going to win this. Well, I do know Mr. Hirohito right here, but they do not know that yet. Germany seems to be winning the initial push, but they are struggling quite a bit. Personally, Germany, I would start worrying about your Western front. So, I assumed this extension here going into Japan was Germany, but if I zoom into it a little bit more, it is in fact Ghana. How come Ghana is here? I'm not really certain, and I'm not even going to question it. Germany seems to be doing quite well against the Soviets, but Mr. Adolf, justify war goal, let's go. The war goal is ready, so let's declare war. First off, we're gonna try to completely seal off what used to be France, and then we have a clear way to Berlin. Excuse me? Chile joined the Axis? Why? It looks like we are going to have to deal with Chile. Incredible. We have managed to seal off France, so every German unit here is in fact encircled. The front lines, by the way, still don't really work, but if I set my general on aggressive, they still go by themselves. It would normally be an issue because the AI would do damn attacks, but our division is quite strong and I'm pretty sure nothing can beat it. Did I mention that we're making 86 improved medium tanks a day? Apparently conquering half of the world makes you really overpowered. France has been cleared, so we can now start pushing into Germany proper. Austria is actually completely undefended, so we can just push all the way to Vienna. This is also gonna be how we're going to reach Italy. Thankfully Rome is quite close, and Berlin is about to fall, and it is ours. At this point the Germans have no chance. We have greens everywhere, we're making even more tanks than before, and we're even pushing into Italy. Although they do have quite a strong defense here. But we can still go all the way around through Bulgaria, Hungary and Romania. Germany is 90% towards capitulation. Once we take Stuttgart and maybe Essen, they should capitulate. And Germany has capitulated. Thankfully mostly to us, which means that now we only have to worry about Mr. Mussolini right here. And Mussolini stands absolutely no chance. And the Italian Civil War just broke out, and the Axis has capitulated. We have quite a lot of points, so we are going to use every single one of them. It's not perfect at all actually, but you know what? We took the majority of the land. And up next, the biggest pyramid of them all, baby. The Soviet Union. Right-click, justify war goal, and let's go. Excuse me? Spain declared war on the Soviet occupation zone of Germany? Why? And why do they have a war goal on me? Historical, by the way. And we are as prepared as we will ever be, so Mr. Stalin, declare war. Sadly, Spain does not want to join our faction. We have green bubbles pretty much everywhere, so the Soviets just stand absolutely no chance. And here you have it, boys, the world's first entanglement. It's like an encirclement, but it's a triangle. And after one of the worst wars I've ever fought in HOI4, we have reached Moscow. And it has been taken. And the Soviet Union has capitulated. That was horrible, and I'm never gonna do it again. Let's go through the peace deal. And here it is, after a long time, after a time of struggle, a time of pain, we have conquered the triangle world. Thankfully, no math had to be used to do this, and just because of that, I am content. So what would happen if every province and country in HOI4 was a triangle? Well, it would be very edgy. Thank you very much for watching. A huge thanks to The Zone, Mapping Night and Bing Bong for supporting the channel. A big thanks to all the other members too. If you'd like to support the channel, you can become a member. I love you very much, and goodbye. Mwah.